Montgomery County, that's where we're picking up rotation with this particular storm. Back to our base velocity, base reflectivity. Again, it's not that well defined. It is a supercell thunderstorm, and it does have the potential of producing a possible tornado. So that's why the National Weather Service has gone with a tornado warning until 2:30 this afternoon for Montgomery County and Yell counties, and just a little bit of a sliver of Yell County as well. Keeping an eye on if they have any confirmation. Two areas. Okay, so there are two areas of circulation that I showed you just a moment ago. Let me go back to the en-route part here, and this really pinpoints it well. There's one area of rotation near Sims, Arkansas, and there's another area that is on the border of Montgomery and Yell counties. You can see where Bluffton is, Briggsville, Dover. This cell is lifting to the northeast, and anywhere within that red area, you are in the path of what could be a potential tornado. Rotation has been tightening up in this cell for quite a while as well. This is the only supercell that we have right now. We had one earlier today in Logan County that fell apart. National Weather Service put out a tornado watch for several counties in western and northwestern Arkansas for the afternoon. Remember your tornado precautions. If you were at home, sirens are probably going off there in Montgomery and Yell County. Let's go back to Max 1, Mike. Here's the tornado warning that we have till 2:30 this afternoon. Let's remember our precautions. Find the centermost part of your home, lowest level of your home. Do it calmly. If you've got kids at home, make sure they have something to cover up their heads. Go to our safe place, all right? Take pillows with us, blankets. Centermost part of your home, stay away from windows, and go to the lowest part of your home as well. Okay, so there's that red polygon. Again, some folks that are in line with that, moving to the northeast at 30 miles per hour. Let me put a little track on here. It's going to cover a lot of smaller communities here within this area here over the next, about 25 minutes or so. Here we go. That gives us an idea of who is involved in that. Again, you got Pencil Bluff, Arkansas, Gibbs, you've got Sims, Story, Chula. You've got Bluffton, Briggsville, Shark, Arkansas. Those are the small communities that are within this tornado warned area. Again, we're going to keep an eye on things. National Weather Service will let us know if there's any confirmation with this warned storm. But it's Montgomery and Yell County, just a tiny little sliver there of Perry County that is currently under that warning. And you can see the locations that are involved in that tornado warned storm. I do want to back up just a moment, talk about what's going to be happening later today into tonight. The National Weather Service did place parts of Arkansas under a tornado watch. That does not include the Little Rock metro area, but it does include Montgomery County. It does include Yell County, Polk County, Johnson County, the THV 11 viewing area. And if you're under that watch, you need to make sure you have numerous ways to receive severe weather information. Unfortunately, this does look like an event that could carry into the nighttime hours and even early tomorrow morning as a strong line of thunderstorms moves across the region. It's been rinse and repeat these last couple of 3 days with these strong storms, and we think tonight's event moving through will allow for a front to push in, and that will help to lower the threat across a good part of the state. Let's go back to Max 1 if you don't mind. There you go. We want to show you that tornado warning again. If you're in Montgomery County, northern parts of Montgomery County, if you are currently in Yell County, and I can tell you what, this cell has been strengthening over the last really several radar rounds. So everybody in Yell County, just be on guard. Western Perry County as well. Just be on guard. It's probably best to do that. Let me go back to our other product here. Okay, there's a statewide radar loop. You can see the activity in Oklahoma. It's from Tulsa down to McAllister. That activity is going to move into northwestern Arkansas. It will affect those folks. Anything that develops in northeast Texas does pose a threat to western Arkansas. Some counties, again, that are under that tornado watch include Polk County, Montgomery, Yell, up to Pope County. And again, we've got that tornado warning for Montgomery County and Yell County right now until 2:30 this afternoon. And let's go back to Storm Track 11. Mike, let's see if we can find any other rotation of areas of concern with this. We look at live wind modes. We talk about this quite a bit. Tom, just a bunch of colors on the map there, but what we're looking for is where the reds and the blues come together. There's a fairly tight area there that's just to the east of Sims and north of Mount Ida. That is the area that we're keeping a close eye on that could potentially produce a tornado. No confirmation, but Arkansas State Police reporting a funnel cloud from the storm that was near Odin, Arkansas. There's Odin's to the southwest. No confirmation, But a funnel cloud does make sense since we have some very a tight rotation within this supercell thunderstorm. It is now moved to the northeast of Odin, so Odin is out of the way. Sims, Arkansas, likely area of where the rotation is occurring at this time. This is information I'm getting from the National Weather Service office here in North Little Rock, Arkansas. If we can't go to Max 2, there's a little closer perspection on Max 2 of this tornado warned storm, of the tornado warning that is in Montgomery County and Yell County. There's Gibbs, Arkansas, Pencil Bluff. You're under this warning until 2:30 today. And you can see we talk about a little bit of an inflow area, a little notch. It begins to look more like a hook echo that we talk about quite a bit. And that's what's going on with this storm. It is a supercell thunderstorm. Everybody that's within the polygon in the red is potentially in the path of this storm, as the storm may produce a tornado with very little warning. Make sure you got your safe place ready. Let's hope that you're there. I know a lot of folks like to get the cameras out and try to find it and take a picture of it. Not a good idea to do that. Just go ahead and ride this one out. I think we're going to have a fairly active evening with a line of storms, and possibly within that line a few more tornadoes could develop. It's these little individual supercells developing out ahead of the line. And let's face it, have you been outside? The air mass is very warm. It's a very unstable air mass right now. A little bit of sunshine adds to the instability, and this is what you get. And this is the area that I'm talking about on the southern flank, where we're getting some winds blowing into it, and on the backside in the upper levels, that's creating that spin. It looks like the area of concern is right now north of Pencil Bluff, the area of rotation, and it's pretty well put out there on our not Max 2, but let's go back to Storm Track 11, and I'll show you the rotation here. We got a pretty good area of blue. It's those areas right there within that polygon. You can see the areas of blue. That's where we're finding the rotation. If you are listening to us on THV 11 Plus, our app, hopefully you're in your safe place right now, the centermost part of your home. Make sure that you've got something to cover up your head with just in case. Okay, Sims, Arkansas, that's just between Sims and Story. That's the area of concern. This storm is creeping along to the northeast at about 30 miles per hour. And what we're looking at is the possibility of rotation between Sims and Story, Arkansas. If you're familiar with the terrain here, in northern parts of Montgomery County, there's the highway between Sims and Story. Again, it's moving away to the northeast and is getting ready to cross over into Yell County. So if you live in Yell County, you folks are going to be in the path of this supercell thunderstorm that could produce a tornado. Going back and forth, haven't received any reports of a confirmation, but we've got the tornado warning there from Montgomery County, Yell County, and you folks are within the THV 11 viewing area. Also Garland County, I would just say Perry County, Garland County, Conway County, points north, Polk County, you're going to be in the path of this storm. It looks like it's continuing to hold together pretty well, and it's pretty strong as it moves to the northeast. There's more cells developing to the west of it. Let's go back to Max 1, if you don't mind, Mike. Thank you very much. I just want to show you these other cells that are developing, and whenever you see them individualized like that, they're feeding off the environment around them. You've got a very warm, rich air mass. You've got enough wind shear in place to allow for some rotation. And with that, we're going to keep an eye on those cells to the west of this one that we're talking about right now. All right, let me back up, give you the information again. We've got a tornado warning for northern Montgomery County. There's a little sliver of Perry County, extreme southwestern Perry, and southern parts of Yell and southwestern Yell County. This is a radar-indicated tornado, no visual confirmation, although Arkansas State Police has reported a funnel cloud with this cell moving to the northeast. Areas of circulation now east of Sims, headed toward Highway 27 and the town of Story. So if you live in Story, Arkansas, now is the time to be in your safe place. I'm going to take us a little closer to the action here along Highway 27. This is going to be in northern Montgomery County. You've got Lake Ouachita there just to the southeast. There's Highway 27. And if you want to take me back on the main monitor, Mike, I'll try to indicate exactly what we're talking about. It's this area right here. Here's Highway 27. Here's Highway 88, northern Montgomery County. You've got Yell County here. This storm is lifting to the northeast and will affect folks in I hope that's Ally, Arkansas. Also Story, you should be in a safe place right now. That's where those highways and whatnot, the state highways intersect. That's where we're finding the area of rotation. Let me go to our winds mode here, and we'll see if that will also support this. It does not look like much, but I can see there's a little bit there near Gibbs, Arkansas. There's Ouachita, Story here in line to be affected by this storm. So along Highway 27 and 88, just now to the west of Story, if you live in Story, make sure you're in your safe place. All right, so with that, we have a tornado watch that's also in effect. I mentioned that a few moments ago just to kind of reset things for you. We've got the tornado warning for northern Montgomery County and Yell County till 2:30 this afternoon. I anticipate that we'll probably have a few more warnings this evening. This afternoon, this is not a surprise. A tornado watch was issued just a few moments ago for this area in west central and western Arkansas. Northwest Arkansas will be impacted by this system as it moves in later on this evening into the overnight hours. Still have roughly 18 minutes, 17 and a half minutes left on it. Weather Service is continuing the tornado warning with some strong rotation. I think it's a good idea if you live in Yell County and points north of Yell County. If you live in Polk County, the strong storm looks like it's going to hold together for a while. So a good idea to go ahead and make sure that those folks are in their safe place or getting their safe places ready. School's in session. This is the only tornado warning we have. Montgomery County, Yell County. And for those of you that are getting into your safe place and you want to follow us and listen to me, we're on the THV11 app. If you have the app, you can stream this coverage, and the app's free to download. Do it real quick, get in your safe place, and I'll walk you through what's going to be happening here for the rest of the afternoon. And it's that one cell in northern Montgomery County and in Yell County. There are other cells that are developing to the west that we'll keep a close eye on. This area is primed this afternoon. We got all the ingredients there, the very warm and moist, unstable air mass. This is a supercell thunderstorm. This is not a part of the line. However, we could see a line develop through the rest of the day with that cell. There's more action out in Oklahoma. You can see in western Oklahoma, or eastern Oklahoma, excuse me. That activity is going to clip western and northwestern Arkansas. Waiting on any new information we have here from the Weather Service, not just seeing anything just yet. Let's go back to Storm Track 11. And again, we've got lots of different tools that we can use to pinpoint where that rotation is located. You see some the color blue out west of Story. That's what we're talking about. It's Highway 27 that's running north to south through Story. In terms of our base velocity, you see that area of red there in blue. That's where we're finding the tightest rotation. Certainly a funnel cloud, and we've had reports of funnel clouds, but we haven't seen any visual confirmation of a tornado. This is base reflectivity. This just really shows us really anything, how and where the heavy rain or hail may be located. Kind of lacking that classic hook-like signature right here and there on this particular radar. But if we go back to Max 2, we've got a better viewpoint of it where it's kind of, you got to get that appendage that we're looking at. Max 2 over here behind me, Mike, if you don't mind. And we'll pop it up on the screen here and I'll take a closer look at it with you. The tornado warning until 2:30, Montgomery and Yell County. There you go, right there. That's the supercell thunderstorm. And if you look closely, you can kind of see where that appendage is hanging down there. And that is near Highway 88 and west of Highway 27, okay? Northern Montgomery County. Hopefully the sirens are still going off where you are in Montgomery and Yell County, and you have taken shelter because of this potential tornadic supercell. Tornado watch is in effect. There are the counties in the watch. This is until 9 o'clock tonight. The counties in yellow, that does include Montgomery and Yell and Pope counties and the THV11 viewing area, Johnson County and Polk County as well. And we have a pretty good thread of severe weather today. In fact, a weather impact alert has been issued for the rest of the day today into tomorrow because of the severe threat. This is going to last through 2 o'clock, 2:30 tomorrow afternoon. Storms could have some hail, but I think it's primarily going to be some gusty winds and a possible tornado. May impact your voting for the rest of the day today and especially tomorrow. So if you had plans on getting out and voting, just know that tomorrow you may have to dodge a few thunderstorms during the time, especially for central and eastern Arkansas, late morning into the afternoon hour. Keeping an eye on a supercell thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. The two circulations that we had have now congealed into one, and that circulation remains just to the west of Story. It's moving northeast toward Highway 27. Storm looks like it's going through a recycling mode, according to the National Weather Service. So you can take a radar shot there. Thank you, Mike. This is our 1 hour radar loop, which shows that cell that we're keeping a close eye on, the northern Montgomery and Yell counties. Strengthening aloft, so that's not good news. This cell is getting stronger. I do want to give warning to the folks that are in Yell County. If you live in Danville, if you live in Ola, if you live in Dardanelle, I would say this, even in Pope County, y'all need to go ahead and start preparing now. I think this storm's going to carry all the way through Yell into Pope counties this afternoon. It is showing no signs of weakening. In fact, the Weather Service is saying this storm is strengthening somewhat, and it's moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. And we've got several areas that are in the path of this storm, including Story, Arkansas, which I just called out a minute ago. Gibbs, Ouachita, Stillwater, Arkansas. You've got Briggsville, Wing, and Danville by 3:17 this afternoon. That is what is at stake this afternoon, folks, with this weather situation that we have. And it does look like we're going to carry this through as we head through the nighttime hours tonight into early tomorrow morning. You can come back to me now if you want. I'll be in front of the screen walking you through everything here till 2:30. I really think that we're going to see an extension into Yell and eventually Pope County for a tornado warning. And this is going to be happening about the time kids are going to be getting out of school this afternoon. So moms and dads, keep that in mind. School officials, keep that in mind as well. If you get out of school between, let's say, 2:45 and 3:30, as the cell lifts to the northeast at 30 miles per hour, it could very well affect some of those communities from Danville up to Russellville, Atkins. You're going to be in a polygon. I'm not extending it on my own. I'm just saying, since they just came across the wire and said it's strengthening, then there's a pretty good chance they're going to extend this warning a little while longer. Tornado warning is in effect for Montgomery and Yell counties until 2:30. And yeah, we've had some reports of funnel clouds with this storm, and the National Weather Service says that they're seeing some strengthening of the overall storm itself. It's going through a recycling phase. So it sometimes happens with supercell thunderstorms. They'll weaken a bit, and then they go through a cycling phase. And if you look, the one thing that concerns me, there's not a whole lot out here in front of it to rob the energy. So you've got plenty of moist, warm, moist air flowing into it, which is helping to feed that storm. It's only going to get stronger as it moves to the northeast. So Danville, Russellville up the road, anywhere along I-40 between Russellville and Danville. Story, Arkansas, you are currently in the path of this cell. I do want to go ahead and take us back let's go back to Storm Track 11, just with another update of the circulation. And I can show you where they've got that red bullseye there. That is the area that we're talking about. That's near Story, Arkansas. It's moving to the northeast. You've got places like Briggsville, Rover, Onyx, Arkansas, Story. You are in the path of this storm that could produce a tornado at any point in time. All right, so this is, again, the only warning that's within the state, but it's within our THV 11 viewing area. I do apologize. Don't like to break in to programming, but when you've got life-threatening weather, when you've got tornado warnings, it's our policy. We're going to break in. We're going to make sure folks have the information as they need it. I do want to mention there's just a very small part of western Perry County that is within the warning as well. We've got another 10 minutes on this warning. And what you're looking at on your screen, well, my goodness, I just see a bunch of reds and blues. This helps us determine where the circulation is. Where that little red dot is, I can put it on what's called our NROD or rotation product, and it matches up nicely there. So the cell is now to the north of Story. It's over southern parts of Yell County, and it is moving to the northeast and will begin to impact folks that are within Yell County, west central and central Yell County. I'm going to take us a little bit closer to where that is. Give me just a second. In Yell County, and we'll give you an idea of who is going to be in the path of it. If you live in Danville, up the road in Danville, you're going to be in the path of this. Highway 27, if you live along Highway 27, let's go back to Max 1. I've got us on our, we've got some roads on here and some highways. If you're not all too familiar with Yell County, but you live in Yell County, we're talking about Highways 27, where Highway 27 and 28 intersect. There's Waltreek, Arkansas. Waltreek, you're outside of the polygon, but if you can look closely, you'll see where the edge is. It's south of Danville. It's through Steve, a little community of Steve, Arkansas. And there's Onyx and Highways 27 and 28 where they come together. Again, the best circulation of what the Weather Service is saying is now over the border from Montgomery into southern Yell County. And some good news, I think, weakly cyclonic convergent, not strong. It's off radar a bit. It's trying to redevelop, though. So they're keeping an eye on this one. There's a lot of mountainous terrain out over here in west central Arkansas. If you're in the path of this thing, it's probably just best to get into a safe place and wait it out, and don't try to go out with your cameras and take a picture of it. You're following us on THV11 and also our app, THV11 app, the Plus. You can catch us on THV11 Plus as well. If you don't have that, you can certainly download it to your TV, Roku, Fire, or even Apple TV, and you can stream along with us. We're going to keep it here. This warning is in effect for another 7.5 minutes. Okay, so this is a great shot. Thank you, Mike. This is looking up the road in Dardanelle. This gives us another viewpoint here. This is I-40 near Dardanelle. Dardanelle has not yet been added to it, but I think we're going to see more of Yell County added, especially along the that's way on up the road. There's Dardanelle. They're not in the polygon, but later on here they're going to be in the path of this supercell moving to the northeast. Let's see if I can get the radar loop to work on it. It wasn't operating very well just a few moments ago. It's a big supercell thunderstorm, continues to maintain its strength, and it had some rotation with it that prompted a tornado warning for Montgomery and Yell counties, although I think right now the main circulation is now out of Montgomery County and in Yell County, but we're going to keep that warning, or they're going to keep that warning on for northern Montgomery. If you live in western Perry County, if you live in Casa, Arkansas, if you live in Conway County, if you live in Yell, and even Pope counties, you're going to be in line to get the next warning. I think they're going to extend this warning. There are more storms developing out in a line to the west of this. If they were to break apart and become more individualized, supercellular or supercell thunderstorms, I would be very concerned. But out ahead of that line, the main line there, is this elongated supercell that continues to show signs of rotation, possible funnel cloud, that reported by the Arkansas State Police. Pretty weak rotation right now. No indication of debris. That's certainly some good news. I'm going to take us to one of the functions we have, one of the products. We'll designate some debris, and I don't see any there, so this may just be some circulation off the ground. Let's hope it stays that way and doesn't reach the ground. Again, we're following a tornado warning storm, tracking a supercell thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. Northern Montgomery County, talking north of Mount Ida. This cell is tracking into Yell County, and if you live in Danville, if you live upstream, I like to let folks know upstream. If you live in Dardanelle, if you live in Ola, if you live in Danville, you're going to be in the path of this if the Weather Service continues the warning. And they'll make that decision here in about a minute or two, because it's 2:24, soon to be 2:25, and the warning is in effect till 2:30 this afternoon. If you want to come back to me, Mike, on the screen, let me just visit with you there at home. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. It's my goal and our goal here at THV11 to make sure that you're safe and know what to do in the event. And here we go. We're second severe weather season. We had a time of a couple of 3 weeks where it was dry and very warm, and then we hit November 1st and things change. We've had a kind of a rinse and repeat weather scenario with lines of storms moving through the area, and with those lines of storms, we've had some very heavy rain, flooding rains over northern Arkansas. We had a tornado warning the other night. A brief tornado touched down in northwest Arkansas, and today the atmosphere is a little concerning. We've got a lot of juice. We've got a lot of low-level atmospheric moisture. We've got the wind profiles that would allow for some veering aloft, some turning aloft, and this is the result. Looks like they've extended the warning, but they're a severe thunderstorm warning. That's certainly some good news. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a larger area of that's under a severe thunderstorm warning. It's 2:26. My policy is that when the tornado warning expires that we go back, but I'm going to keep it here for just a couple of more minutes, only because sometimes severe thunderstorms produce tornadoes very quickly. Maybe cycling down a bit, but it could quickly tighten up once again. Some very heavy rainfall, some large hail also possible with this severe thunderstorm. All right. Let me do the severe thunderstorm warning real quick. We're going to, and then we'll go to that, because Nathan Scott and I are going to be streaming at 3 o'clock on THV11 Plus, and we'll review what's going on. But severe thunderstorm warning for west central Perry and southwestern Yell County till 3 o'clock. And again, that does include the places I mentioned before, from Danville to Ola, Arkansas. If you live in Ola, you're going to be in the path of this storm, which has some rotation with it, of which the National Weather Service, of course, is keeping a close eye on. Okay, they're going to expire the tornado warning. They've decided to expire it, so it'll be dropping off our page here in a moment. But again, we're going to be here this afternoon and tonight. Nathan Scott, myself, we're going to keep an eye on things. Join us at 3 o'clock. Folks, we're going to try to answer as many questions as we can, give you the timing. I'll tell you, this is going to be one of those late afternoon and nighttime situations, late afternoon for northwest and western Arkansas. We've got that supercell thunderstorm that we're keeping a close eye on. And then later on tonight and early tomorrow, as the line moves to the east, it's expected to weaken, but could still provide us with some very strong wind gusts. All right. Once again, you can go ahead and show that page, THV11, our Plus app. You can follow Nathan and I. We'll give you a little bit more of a comprehensive breakdown of the weather tonight, plus our THV11 app. If you have yet to download it, it is free. You can toggle on the warnings that you want to receive, severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings. And folks, since this is happening or will happen tonight, partly at night and early tomorrow morning, it's always a great way to have different methods of receiving severe weather information. I know a lot of people depend on their phones. You've got your NOAA weather radios. You got Weather Call as well. That's where I will call you and alert you. Text the word call to 501-376-1111. And I'm going to have more on this as we head through the afternoon and evenings, because this is really helpful for folks that may go to bed at night and we've got severe weather happening. This product will call you and will wake you up, and it will be your area. We talk about the polygons. If you're within a certain polygon and a warning is issued, severe thunderstorm or tornado, you're going to get a call and it's going to alert you. All right. Just getting some more information from the National Weather Service. And they are, okay, all right, they're taking it on. And here we go. This is what I'm talking about. With the severe thunderstorm warning they issued, they are beginning to see a little bit more rotation with it. So that's why I didn't want to just go away just yet. They may be posting another tornado warning for the same area that they just put under a severe thunderstorm warning. The severe thunderstorm warning is in orange. Danville, Ola, you're involved in that. The area in red, I think, may be added. That polygon might extend and cover up a part of Yell County. The storm is moving slowly northeast at 30 miles per hour. Let me see if I can pinpoint a little bit of a better area of some rotation. Yeah, southern parts of Yell County along Highway 27. Let me zoom in here a little closer. We can give you the highways. And then I'll take you a little bit farther out. There you go, Highway 27. This cell is riding just along, perpendicular to the highway, and is showing, again, signs of re-intensifier, strengthening once again. And that is the concern that we have. Let me do this. I'm going to go up and see if we can, and there's the warning, tornado warning just posted. Okay. Yep, they just issued another tornado warning. Thought they might. Okay, so here's the information for the tornado warning. Western Perry County and southwestern Yell County. Again, it's for the possibility of a tornado that could occur at any moment. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near First Valley, 17 miles southwest of Danville, moving northeast at 30. So Danville is probably one of the larger communities in here. Let me go back up. All right, this is why we can't have nice things, folks, and I apologize, but we're going to keep it right here. This is beginning to move into an area where you've got kids getting out of school here pretty soon. There's Danville, all right, Highway 27. Now, Danville, you're on the upper end of this, so you got plenty of time, but if you live between Ally and Danville, you got very little time along Highway 27. Let me put a storm track on this. Let me take us to a different perspective. If you're watching at home, Yell County and Perry County are west of Pulaski County. There's Scott County, Logan County, where a tornado warning was issued earlier today. And let me just put this on a now. I want to put a storm track on it. Let me take a storm track. Hold on just a second. Moving to the northeast at 30 miles per hour. And here we go, right here. We're going to take it through Danville area. Bluffton, Briggsville, you got Shark, Danville, Ola, Mount George. Those are some communities that are in the path of this potential tornado, the supercell that could produce a tornado with little or no warning. Again, that's what we're looking at, possibility of a tornado in Yell County, Now, Montgomery County, you're out of it. That's certainly some good news, but we also have a severe thunderstorm warning for the same area. Trying to move that out of the way there, just to give you an idea of where we're located. This is in west central Arkansas. This area is also under a tornado watch until 9 o'clock tonight. If you want to go max 2, you can see those counties in the watch. They do include some of our fringe counties in the THV 11 viewing area. Montgomery County, you're seeing the tornado warning from Montgomery for Yell, soon to be Pope, and I wouldn't be surprised parts of Van Buren County and even up the road in Searcy or even Newton County. National Weather Service keeping an eye on this. They said that the cell is tightening up yet once again. Okay, they are not seeing debris, but they are saying that a tornado appears very likely right now with this cell. Let's go to max 2. And this is a better idea of the couplet I'm talking about with the reds. I'm sorry, Storm Track 11, my bad. Sorry, Mike. Storm Track 11, we talk about those couplets, the reds and the blues coming together, and they certainly are coming together just west of Onyx, Arkansas. That's what we're talking about. Let's see if we have another product we can do. Yeah, that matches up well, just west of Onyx. That's in a higher terrain, some mountainous terrain, but there are some folks that may live in that area, may live in a little valley there. Briggsville, Rover, Arkansas, you're going to be in the path of this. Rotation has increased. See if we can find some debris. They're saying they're not seeing any debris, but yeah, not seeing it there. Now, I know it looks like a bunch of different colors, but we know what we're looking at there. And there's your reflectivity that shows the heavy rain, possibly rain wrapped at that. But the velocity, base velocity, shows me where the rotation could be located. And that could be there south of Briggsville, just to the west of Onyx, where those two areas come together. That would be our area of rotation. That is the couplet. That is the where we're seeing the blues blowing toward radar, the reds blowing away from radar. And that's what they're concerned about at this time. All right, so let's go back now to max 1, Mr. Mike, if you don't mind. This is our 1-hour radar loop. You've got two things going on. You've got the severe thunderstorm warning, but then within that, you've got an area that has a tornado warning. All right. I'm just looking at the National Weather Service and some information that they have. And yeah, they're seeing the rotation that's near, okay. Yeah, very interesting from the Fort Smith radar site. I'm going to go to Fort Smith and see if that's any better than what I have here. And I'm not seeing it very well from Fort Smith radar. But yeah, just west of Onyx, Arkansas, that's where we're finding the rotation. Let's see if I can go to live winds. I'm trying to find that couplet, and if I can find it, there you go. Okay, that's a good shot right there. Just north of Ally, right there. That's riding between highways 27 and 28. It's that area where the reds and the blues come together that has tightened up over the last couple of radar scans. The Weather Service is concerned about could produce a tornado at any minute. This cell is moving to the northeast at 30 miles per hour and will be along Highway 27 and 28. This last scan has really tightened up a little more, so we might be looking at our tornado, the first tornado this afternoon. And if you're in the path of this storm in Yell County, and if you live along Highway 27 and 28, here's Plainview, Arkansas. You're in the polygon. If you live in that area, folks, take cover immediately. Make sure you've got your safe place ready to go. Danville, you're also within the polygon, and this cell is moving northeast at 30 miles per hour and could produce a tornado at any moment if it already hasn't produced one. Or is it produced? Radar confirmed tornado. Okay, yeah. And they have a probability, a 100% probability of debris signature. So the National Weather Service is saying radar confirmed tornado now in western Yell County, or south central Yell County. So folks, we have a tornado. Let's not freak out about it. Let's get to our safe place. And they just adjusted the polygon on the southern extent of that polygon. That's where you're going to find the tornado. It's between Highway 28, Highway 27, north of Ally, Arkansas. Ally or Ally. That's one of those communities. I've lived here my entire life, and I've got to admit, I don't know all the names of the cities in Arkansas, but I'm sure that somebody will help me out if I'm getting that wrong. I don't want to mispronounce anything. But notice that cell, now radar indicated, radar confirmed tornado, and that's in Yell County. This would be a good idea for those of you that live in Danville, even upstream if you live in Dardanelle, Arkansas, if you live in Ola. Ola, you're outside of the polygon for the tornado warning, but you're within the severe thunderstorm warning. And you're going to be extended now that we have confirmation of this. And it might be over a large area of trees, mountains, but we know we have one now. There's the intersection of Highway 27 and 28. I'm going to go as close as I can without losing the definition. County Road number 1, Onyx Trail, that's where we're finding the storms. That's where we're finding the rotation that is producing a tornado there in Yell County. Movement is to the northeast, 30 miles per hour. If you live on Straight Rock Lane, County Road 1 or Onyx Trail in that area, that's where we're finding the tornado. And it's been confirmed from the National Weather Service. They do have a confirmation of debris as well as a radar confirmation moving to the northeast. Nathan Scott's here, and I know Nathan's been watching things this afternoon as well. I'm going to take my position over in the green wall, and Nathan's going to run things here at the computer desk. But certainly looks like we've got a supercell thunderstorm that's been very active this afternoon, and it is producing a tornado.
All right, Tom. Yeah, I have been watching things as I was headed into work this afternoon, and it's just one of those situations. We have warm and humid air in place, and these storms are starting to rotate. That's no surprise, since this is where the highest risk of severe weather was located today. And it's just this one cell that's causing the issues at this time, but certainly a serious concern, especially now since it is a confirmed tornado. So you have to be in your safe place. If you are just joining us at this time, Danville, and also I would give a heads up into Dardanelle, Russellville, and Atkins, because if this trajectory holds, it will continue to make its way into North Yell County and eventually into southern parts of Pope County. This is a Doppler confirmed tornado now at this time, and Briggsville, Onyx, Highway 27, Highway 28. What we're watching is this area right here where you see that brighter orange and brighter blue come together. So where the tornado is going to be located is going to be right in that part of Yell County. I don't think we can see debris from the system because the radar is probably way too far. When we take a look at the Storm Track 11, we're looking at Fort Smith here, and it's just that blue area. It's not that significant. We're not seeing the blue go into the green. So the rotation from this level does not look too significant, but we're looking at a level of 11,000 feet using the Fort Smith radar. It's just in that position between the radar from Little Rock and also the radar from Fort Smith. We can't get a good reading on exactly what's happening closer to the surface on where this tornado, of course, is going to be located, Tom.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get some extra information. You know, the National Weather Service talking about this. This is our NROT product, and I showed it just a few moments ago where you see the blues and the greens. Yeah, that's a pretty good indication there's a tornado there, and we do have a radar confirmed tornado in Yell County. This is a good perspective. You know, we get a lot of stuff on the map, lots of colors and polygons, but you can see that Danville, you're going to be in the path of this, even over to Plainview, then up the road a little higher, at least a little farther north. In Pope County, if you live in Russellville, live in Atkins, even Dardanelle up the road here, y'all need to go ahead and make sure that you've got your tornado precautions all ready to go. Find the centermost part of your home. Stay away from windows. Take something with you, put over your head. We talk about bicycle helmets or something of that effect, a pillow, a blanket. Because we have a confirmation, radar confirmation, according to the National Weather Service, that there is a tornado occurring now, and it looks like it's right over the community of Rover, Arkansas. Storm is moving northeast at 30. The main center of circulation may split Danville and Plainview. Highways 27 and 28, those are the two main highways out here. If those sound familiar to you right now, and you're listening to us in your closet, maybe you're streaming us on the app right now, and you live near Rover, Arkansas, that is what we're talking about. That is the concern with this cell. This is a supercell thunderstorm that went through a phase. It weakened a bit and then it re-strengthened. Severe thunderstorm watch was placed, and now the tornado warning has been issued for that cell, Nathan.
Well, and that's the only cell we're watching, Tom,
That's it.
at this time. But any of these cells off to the west, we also have to keep a close eye on as we go back over to Max now. Here's a recap. We're looking at the rain part of the radar, and we have two polygons. One is a severe thunderstorm warning polygon in the orange. The other one is a tornado warning within the severe thunderstorm warning polygon. But any of these cells we have to keep a close eye on in Scott County, Polk County, just because we have wind shear. These storms can start to rotate and eventually produce a tornado. It may just be one cell out there today, ladies and gentlemen, that goes rogue and produces a tornado. But we have more cells developing over into Oklahoma, and we have to watch out for those cells as they make their way from East Oklahoma into West Arkansas through the course of the evening and into the overnight hours. But it's these cells that are developing well in advance of the cold front that's tapping into more unstable air. And with that said, that's why we have these cells that have a better chance of producing rotation and that rotation getting down to the ground. So this is the cell. If you're just joining us once again, it is Yell County. There's nothing happening in Little Rock. There's nothing happening in Pulaski County, Saline County, Faulkner County. We're all in the clear, and we should be primarily in the clear for the rest of the afternoon. I don't think our severe weather threat here in a large part of central Arkansas doesn't go up until maybe after sunset with that line approaching from Oklahoma. But these cells moving from Yell County will affect you folks in Pope County. Whether or not it will still be tornado warm, we cannot make that call at this time, but it's just a good idea to be prepared. Get ready to take your tornado precautions, get those shoes on, get the pets all gathered up, just in case this cell continues to maintain its strength. And then it's going to be headed for Dardanelle, Atkins, also potentially Russellville, so Interstate 40. And if you know anybody traveling on Interstate 40, headed in that part of Polk County, make sure they're certainly paying attention. Give them a text, give them a call, and be like, hey, you got a cell that has been producing a tornado in Yell County. It's moving from the southwest to the northeast, so you have to be through that area before that cell reaches that part of Polk County. We're going to zoom in here to Polk County. There's a tornado warning still in effect until 3 o'clock this afternoon. And we're looking at heavy rain, not too much in the form of lightning. This is primarily just a lot of heavy rain. And when we take a look at the hail, there's really no hail showing up either. So it's just the wind shear allowing the storm to rotate and produce that little inflow notch and also where that rotation continues to be. So this is one look at the radar from Little Rock now, looking at the winds within the storm, and then I'm going to switch over to the Fort Smith radar, and we'll compare the two to see if what gets a better reading. So there's Fort Smith showing some brighter colors. I think it's a little bit higher than actual Little Rock's radar. So we'll go back over to Little Rock, and what we're looking at is where you're seeing these winds of the reds that show it's going away from the radar, and the blues, that is the wind going towards the radar. So if there's still something there, which we don't know, we haven't heard anything else from the National Weather Service, but we're still going to assume that it could still be there. It's going to be right in that area that we've been talking about. It's very close to Briggsville, headed towards Rover. You see this is 2:44 at the current time with that happening. And we are going to continue to see this cell make its way off to the north and northeast. How fast is it going, Tom? Do you remember?
30 miles per hour.
Okay, I'm going to put a track on there.
Yeah. And just the latest wording from the Weather Service that it appears it's in a dissipation stage, dissipation stage, dissipating. But like just a few moments ago, it went through a cycle where it weakened and then it strengthened once again. It's simply, folks at Weather Service are saying it could ramp up and it could produce another tornado in about 15 minutes or so. So they go through a cycle. They'll weaken a bit and then they'll re-strengthen. And there are other communities, Nathan, that are in the path of this tornado warning storm.
Yes, so I have it at 30 miles per hour. I would give yourself still an extra 5 minutes looking at these times, but there you see Ola, 3 minutes, or 3:18, Alpha 3:22, Petit Jean Community 3:27, then in Dardanelle 3:42, Russellville 3:50. So probably closer to 3:45, quarter before 4, it will start to approach Russellville, and then sooner than that in Dardanelle, and then also in Atkins. This is just to give you a heads up. Russellville, Dardanelle, you're not under a tornado warning at this moment, but we want to give you plenty of lead time just in case this cell continues to hold on to its strength and head in your direction. It's always good to have plenty of lead time when you have a situation like this of a supercell thunderstorm that is rotating, most likely will continue to rotate as it churns its way through Yell County and will affect you folks in Pope County. It may just be heavy rain. Hopefully that's the case. But we're in the situation where the atmosphere is prime for the potential of rotating thunderstorms, or which are known as supercells. This is the only cell that we're watching in the entire THV 11 viewing area that has any warning with it. It's all quiet, Little Rock, Arkadelphia, Pine Bluff, Searcy, but folks in Yell County need to take this seriously, especially around Danville. That tornado warning has been shrunk now, and it just includes Danville, Plainview, Highway 28, State Highway 27, and also Highway 80. Tom.
Max 2, Mr. Bennett, if you don't mind, or which director we have up here this afternoon. I do want to mention that until 9 o'clock tonight, there are some counties in the THV 11 viewing area that are under a tornado watch. You know, we talked about just a moment ago that Central Arkansas will be later on tonight. This could be a very late night for a lot of folks. Tornado watch extends all the way into Oklahoma. There's a line of storms moving into the state, but these counties that are in the THV 11 viewing area, Pope County, Yell, Montgomery, and even Polk County, Johnson County in our viewing area, you're under the watch, and we have that warning. Just wanted to show that. So for those of you that want to know what's going on this afternoon weather-wise, we're going to have some active weather across the state. And it's been active here the last couple of 3 days with lines of severe thunderstorms, very heavy rain, flash flooding, and now there's a bit of a tornado threat out there this afternoon. So we can go to our live winds on Max 1 and let Nathan tell you a little bit about what's going on there. I wanted to update, though, that watch real quick.
All right, we are zoomed in really close into Yell County now because we are trying to pinpoint exactly where this rotation is and where you see those brighter blues. I'm going to show it here for you. I'm going to put an icon to really show exactly what we're looking at. It's going to be between Briggsville and Rover. So if you are watching us along Highway 28 in the community of Rover, River Road, and Highway 27, where all that intersects together, that's where you certainly want to make sure you are in your tornado safe place at this time, because we do have that tornado warning that continues until 3 o'clock for that part of Yell County. We're going to zoom in again. This is the cell that we're watching. It does have a little bit of lightning. It probably is rain wrapped. Looking at this cell, I'm not seeing any real clear location, although that right there, little hole, may indicate that there is definitely something happening, because that's almost matching up with exactly where that rotation is. That little donut hole might signify that this is trying to strengthen a little bit more and maybe a little more likely to produce a tornado if in fact it did go back up in the clouds, and then it could drop its way back down to the ground. And the National Weather Service, as of 2:46, is going to continue that tornado warning. So once again, it's going to be for Rover, that area especially. Let's see if we can call out more roads here. There's probably a lot of county roads happening in this area. But there you see River Road, and especially as we get into Runabout Road, we've got Hunt Cemetery Road, County Road 76. There's the intersection of Highway 27, Highway 28, Hog Farm Road. If these sound very familiar to you, then you are in the path of danger, and you may see a tornado make its way through your parts of the neighborhood very shortly if it's not happening at this time. Let's go back over to the winds. Looking at the winds within this cell, it looks like that couplet may have broadened out a little bit. I'm not seeing too much in the form of stronger winds, but then the Fort Smith radar, let me take a look at how high we're watching with Fort Smith. So Fort Smith, that's 4,000 feet. So yeah, I'm still looking at Fort Smith radar. That has a better view, a high resolution view on what's happening with the winds within this cell, and it's going to be very close to Rover. So if there's still a tornado at this moment, it's going to be very close to Rover, headed right along Highway 27, and to the intersection of Highway 27 and Highway 28. We now have a new tornado warning that has been issued, and let's go over that because that does include the city of Dardanelle and also Russellville. This includes Mount Nebo State Park. This includes more of Highway 7 along with Highway 28. So I'm going to just go over and take a look at the warning now. And this is a likely tornado warning. This is not a confirmed tornado warning, but there you see some of the communities. Centerville, Shaquilla is in this tornado warning. So if you're watching us in any of these areas, Shaquilla, Dardanelle, the sirens are going to be going off. Centerville, and you could have a tornado headed in your direction. So you want to make sure that you're going ahead and taking those tornado precautions. Lowest level of a sturdy structure into your hallway, into your closet, into your bathroom. Nothing with windows because that is not a good place to be. Tom, I think you're...
Yeah, I apologize for that. We're working I say right here, we're working two different computers here. I didn't mean to do that, my bad. But I was trying to work on Max 2 and pull up some information as well. So there you go. Again, tornado warning has been extended. National Weather Services, although the circulation has broadened, that they're going to keep the warning going and could kind of predict that. So now we're up the road in Yell County, in Polk County, Dardanelle, Russellville, even, Atkins, you're on the very eastern flank of this, but we're beginning to see the supercell thunderstorm now move out of Yell County or move into northern parts of Yell County. So for those of you that live near Dardanelle, near Russellville, you're going to be in the path as this cell moves to the northeast at about 30 miles per hour. And this is the only one that we have in the state currently, but more could occur later this evening as a line moves into the state. The atmosphere very moist and unstable at this time. This just looks like a big old wall of red. This is some very heavy rain, maybe some hail. It's on the southern end of this that we'll find the rotation in that thunderstorm that is providing us with the emphasis for that tornado warning until 3 o'clock and also a part of it till 3:30. This first part till 3, and Dardanelle, the extension for you until 3:30 this afternoon. And this is the time that we're getting a lot of kids getting on school buses heading home. So school officials, you might want to hold on and put them in safe places there at the school and not risk them being impacted by this supercell. There are the locations that are in the path. Danville, 3 o'clock. Even Petit Jean, 3:17. Dardanelle, 3:28. Russellville, 3:34. Mars Hill, around 3:42. That's within this purple area that Nathan just put up for us. This is our storm track. Again, Danville, 3:03. So it's pretty much right over you got a few minutes to take cover, Danville, if you already have it. Looks like Ola, you're going to be just to the east of it, but Dardanelle and Russellville, you've got a little more time to get your safe place ready to go and get in that safe place. Nathan.
All right, Tom, let's go back over to Storm Track 11 now because, once again, when we take a look at this tool, we are watching and trying to pinpoint exactly where that rotation is located, and you can clearly see it stands out like a bullseye because where you see the blue and then the green within the blue, that is where the highest rotation is located within this cell. So it's very close to Danville, just to the south of Danville, to the west of Plainview, and just to the north of Rover. But Danville, I would certainly be in your safe place at this time because it's going to be a very close call on exactly whether or not this rotation that may produce a tornado at any moment is going to be right over Danville or just miss Danville. And there you see the hills as you make your way to the east of Danville, and then you get into the River Valley. So Shaquilla, Centerville, and Dardanelle, those are the communities next in line for this rotating thunderstorm that has had a history of producing a confirmed tornado earlier. We don't know if it's producing a tornado at this moment, but you never want to let your guard down. You always want to take the safest route. Get to your safe place. Lowest level, sturdy structure. Into your hallway, into your bathroom, into your closet. Put your shoes on because if there is something that rolls through your neighborhood, it could leave a lot of debris and you don't want to step on that debris.
Yeah,
also, good idea, bicycle helmet, football helmet for the kids.
I was just going to mention, it's getting awfully close to Danville, and this is probably one of the stronger indications of rotation this afternoon, where we have that green bullseye that's just south of Danville. So Danville is pretty much right over the top of you. There's the red pollen polygon. If you're anywhere within this polygon, you're in the path potential of this affecting you or impacting you. You've got Dardanelle to the north, there's Centerville, and you're even going to go a little farther to the north. You're getting into Russellville area. This is happening 2:56, 3 o'clock. A lot of schools start letting out at this time. So let's hope that the school officials have a plan to maybe keep kids in place, send them to a safe spot, and keep the buses off the road with this cell. There's also some very heavy rain with this supercell thunderstorm, along with a back end tornado, a possible tornado. Weather Service said it was going through another cycling phase. That's what they do. They play themselves out, Nathan, and then they get stronger, and that's what we're seeing. And this is in terms of the strength, this is the strongest indication that I've seen on our NROT, on our rotation product. Tornado watch is also in effect until 9 o'clock tonight. This includes this area, and I think that we saw this cell continue to evolve and get stronger, and that may have been what prompted the Weather Service to go ahead and place a few of these counties in west central Arkansas under that tornado watch until 9 o'clock. It does not include the Little Rock metro area, but I can show you real quick on Max 2. It's the counties that you see in yellow, tornado watch. That includes Yell County, Montgomery County, Pope County, Logan, Johnson County, Polk, and Scott counties, all pretty much within the THV 11 viewing area. There's a line of storms in Oklahoma along and ahead of a front. That front's going to move in tonight. It's going to be a slow-moving system, so we're going to continue this more than likely through the evening hours. Overnight tonight, early tomorrow morning, when Tracy Bean comes back in with you, we'll probably still see thunderstorms in Arkansas. This could affect and impact some voting tomorrow during the day. There's your tornado watches. Let's go back to Max 1 or live winds. Let's talk about the couplet that's just south of Danville. I mentioned highways 27 and 28. Well, here's Highway 27 out of Danville, and there is the rotation, the marker that would indicate a tightly wound up area within the thunderstorm. Here's Danville High School along Highway 27. This is going to cross over 27. There are some of the county roads, County Road 728. You've got USFS Road 649. So a lot of county roads out here with that circulation moving to the northeast. It'll leave one polygon and enter another polygon. Hopefully you folks in Danville have taken your necessary tornado precautions. Lowest level of your home. You've thrown that bike helmet over the top of the kids. You've got a blanket. Stay away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside. And don't go upstairs. Go to the lowest level of your home.
Tom, I'm trying to look at the debris detector here on Storm Track 11. I'm not seeing anything of concern at this time to say there is a tornado on the ground. We'll rewind this back here for a little bit. And yeah, there's nothing that really is highlighted to me to say that this is producing a tornado at this time. But still, we have to take it seriously. We still have to take it as if there is one on the ground, because it's starting to get closer and closer to pretty much Danville. It's over Danville at this time. So if you were outside looking up in the clouds, you would see rotation clearly right above you. Hopefully the rotation stays up in the clouds, but we cannot tell you that. So that's why we always want you to take the safest route and assume that this storm, it is rotating like a top. It could produce a tornado at any moment, and that tornado could stick around as it makes its way through Danville and then towards Shaquilla and then maybe towards Dardanelle. Or it may just stay in the clouds. Let's go back over to Max now. Max 1, please. And here is the latest overlook of what's happening with that cell. And this is the only cell that we are watching, but it is certainly a wicked cell that is making its way through Yell County. The rest of the THV 11 viewing area is in the clear from Little Rock, Arkansas, Searcy, and off to the east and southeast. The main concern out there for the next few hours will be for west central Arkansas and also northwest Arkansas. There's the tornado warning. It's only one tornado warning. It is in effect for the next 30 minutes. It will likely be continued into more Pope County just because there's nothing to the south of this cell to stop the inflow, to stop the cycling of this cell that produces maybe a quick tornado and then it dissipates and then continues to go through that cycle as more warm and humid air gets drawn into the cell. This is going to be a problem, I think, not only for Yell County, but into Pope County and maybe even into Van Buren County going over the next 1 to 2 hours, Tom, as it tracks its way off to the north and northeast, 40 miles per hour, we're going to say.
Yeah, nothing to keep it from gaining strength, nothing south of it competing for the energy. So it's getting all the energy it wants. And yeah, notice it over at the National Weather Service. Dennis Cavanaugh stuck his head outside. He's one of the big forecasters over there and said that it felt like a spring day. They sent up a balloon, and sure enough, it's becoming one of those afternoons. And it's just one supercell thunderstorm, but that's really all it takes. We're getting a shot out of, is it Danville or Dardanelle? Dardanelle. This is one of our RDOT cameras. The storm is moving to the northeast, and this is I-40, Lake Dardanelle right now. Looks a little ominous and dark in the back. If you guys could pull up another camera shot, maybe from a different perspective, that would be great. But this is what we're looking at up in the Dardanelle area. All right, and here again, this is Max 1 tornado warning. This is our supercell. It doesn't really have that definitive hook echo, but there has been an appendage that throughout the day. Sometimes you can't really tell. This may be rain wrapped as well. But there's Danville, and if you look closely, there is the polygon, that area of red, and this is the area of biggest concern right now. That circulation moving over Danville, highways 27, 154, the intersection there. And Nathan, it looks as if this circulation is right over the top of downtown Danville, the high school right there. So this could be close to the school. We certainly hope that school officials kept the kids, and if they were getting out of school, they got them off the buses and they're in a safe place right now. There's Highway 10, U.S. Road 649, Chambers Farm Road. If those areas sound familiar to you, then you're being impacted by this area. This is our couplet where we find the rotation within that severe thunderstorm.
And Tom, we'll know if it's producing a tornado because we'll see power outages show up on power outage map within the next 5-10 minutes. So hopefully there are no power outages, although there could also be some strong gusty winds that come down. Even if you don't have a tornado, you could still have straight line winds associated with this cell, and that could still bring down some trees and maybe even some power lines. But the highest concern right now is over the city of Danville. Then next in line, I need you folks in Lone Pine, Ranger, Alpha, Shaquilla, Pisgah, Mosley to be in your safe place. Go ahead and take your tornado precautions, please, because we do have a nasty storm that continues to show rotation as it tracks its way through Yell County, getting closer and closer to the Pope County line and the Arkansas River, and then it's going to be headed towards Dardanelle. I'm sure the sirens are going off for Dardanelle and maybe even into parts of Russellville, because if this holds together and it's making its way off to the north and northeast, I'm just going to produce a very long track here because, like I said, we're going to continue to watch this cell as it makes its way through Pope County and eventually maybe even into Van Buren County. But here are some other communities that need to be prepared or need to already take your tornado precautions. So there it is, Ranger, around 11 minutes after 3 o'clock. Mosley, 20 minutes after 3 o'clock. Russellville, around 3:30. Pottsville, 3:37 could see impacts. Dover, 3:45, Scottsville, 3:52, and the community of Hector closer to 4 o'clock. So if you are in this purple polygon, that is our way of saying if they continue to take this tornado warning into more of Pope County, it's likely going to be those communities included in this tornado warning if you're not already under a tornado warning. And we're going to switch things over here to the rain part of the radar now and give you an overview, because it's just that one cell that is still potent, is not weakening at all, because it has nothing to stop it. There's nothing developing down to the south, so it is just drawing in all that very warm and humid air this time of year. That is the storm fuel for these cells to shoot up into the atmosphere, produce a very strong updraft, and then we have the wind shear in place, so that allows the updraft to rotate and causes the whole entire storm cell to rotate. And that's why we have this potential of tornadoes out there today. We're watching that cell. We're also watching what's happening into Oklahoma. More severe thunderstorms warnings and tornado warnings in East Oklahoma, Tom. And those will also make their way into West Arkansas through the course of the evening. They'll merge into a line instead of individual cells, but it'll still have a severe weather threat. It may go from a tornado threat more to a damaging wind threat as it gets closer to Arkansas, something we'll be watching.
Yeah, I do want to take a moment. Let's go back over to Max 2. Let me show you the severe weather risk for the rest of the afternoon and tonight. We'll be right back with the information about the tornado warning. This highlights the area of greatest concern, northwest and western Arkansas. Enhanced risk, Harrison, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Mena. We have a slight risk, a 2 out of 5. We're seeing that with this supercell thunderstorm, and all it takes is one that is moved out of Montgomery County into Yell and soon into Pope counties, and we're seeing that area of enhanced risk kind of straddle along those counties. Really what this just means is there's the greatest threat of severe weather here, but we still have the possibility. We've seen some of these 1 out of 5 risks in central Arkansas before produce tornadoes. So that's why we're telling you to let you guard down this afternoon. We've got that one supercell moving to the north, nothing to compete with it. It's getting a lot of storm fuel, a lot of low-level moisture, a lot of heat and energy through the day today. And with the line of storms that is moving, with a line of storms that is moving out of Oklahoma later this evening, that will move into northwest Arkansas. We'll keep an eye on whether or not we'll see some possible tornadoes within that line. Nathan just knocked on the wall there and said, looks like that warning has been lifted, Nathan. Is that tornado warning? Is that what we're seeing there?
Yes,
or we're seeing
they canceled the tornado warning.
Okay, that's good news.
They just canceled it. They said that it's still rotating, but it's not enough rotation for them to warrant a tornado warning still. However, with that said, don't let your guard down, Dardanelle, Russellville, because this could still cycle back up into another tornado warning over the next 5 to 10 minutes, because we're just in that situation where it weakens and then strengthens 5 minutes later. So, Tom, I don't know if you want to stay with this for another 5 minutes to see what happens, or
what I would like to do at this time here at 3 o'clock, Nathan and I were to give you a pretty broad explanation of the severe weather threat this afternoon on our THV 11 Plus app. I will defer to our producer in the booth. If you'd like us to continue to speak, we will. Typically, it's our policy if the tornado warning has been expired or is no longer in effect, that we go back to regular programming. So I will defer to our producer and ask him what he would like for us to do. Okay, we're just going to keep going. Let's go to Max 2, and just Nathan and I can talk about the severe weather threat for the rest of the day. How about that, Nathan? I mentioned the severe weather risk. We've got a level 2 out of 5 for central Arkansas. We've got a 3 out of 5 for western and northwestern Arkansas. And this was what we were just going to talk about, mainly coming in after dark tonight, overnight into early tomorrow morning. We have a THV 11 weather impact alert that's all the way through tomorrow, Election Day. We wanted to give you a heads up, because a lot of you are going to be out trying to vote, and heavy rain and thunderstorms. You need that umbrella if you're going to stand in line. Just wanted to make sure that you were prepared if we had bad weather. And of course, this afternoon we've had a couple of cells that we've been keeping a close eye on that have been just a little bit feisty. And of course, with the tornado warnings this afternoon for a few of these counties, we had one earlier in Logan County that dissipated, and this one still remains strong as it moves to the north into Pope County. We'll go back to that cell here in just a moment. In terms of the outlook tonight, here's what's at stake. We could see a brief tornado, and you've got this hatched area in the enhanced area, strong tornado. We're talking an EF2 or stronger tornado is possible. We could see some hail, but it's mainly going to be very strong wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour, and the threat of a tornado, and a strong tornado at that. We've already seen the supercell thunderstorm that may have produced a tornado earlier today down around the Montgomery County area, southern Yell County. The timing, the storm timeline here, this is important because a lot of people are going to be sleeping tonight. Nathan, I'm going to let you walk us through the timing here. This is one of those situations where this could last into the nighttime hours, weaken a bit, but then tomorrow afternoon we might have a little bit more.
Yeah, Tom, it is a slow-moving storm system that is originating from Oklahoma and is all in advance of a cold front. So until that cold front makes its way through, we're going to have the potential of still strong to severe thunderstorms in play. Now, the focus out there this afternoon and into the early evening hours is for cells to develop well ahead of the cold front. Those are the cells we're dealing with at this time, but they're primarily making their way from the southwest, more towards the north and northeast. Therefore, it's going to be West Arkansas that will really be under the target area through this afternoon into this evening. Those cells primarily will stay to the west of central Arkansas. but it's the cells developing out into Oklahoma that will likely merge into a line of storms, and that line will progress its way from west to east through the course of the evening into the overnight. So that's why you see such a long period of time for West Arkansas, where you need to be on your guard. Polk County, Yell County, Russellville, Jasper, into Newton County, and then down to Southwest Arkansas, pretty much now all the way until 4 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday. That's certainly a potential, dependent upon how fast that final line makes its way through. Here in Central Arkansas, I think really for the most part, it's going to start to develop through the course of the evening and into the late overnight, early morning hours as that line makes its way through. Heavy rain, lightning, thunder. The main concerns will be damaging winds, but we can't rule out there could be an embedded tornado within that line. And then for East Arkansas, most of the evening and even the overnight hours will be quiet. If you're watching us in Des Arc, Stuttgart, into Deshay County, Chico County, Lincoln County, even close to Pine Bluff, you may not see any storms headed in your direction until close to midnight and maybe even through the early morning hours, but you still have to watch out because you'll have a better chance of heavy rain affecting you for Election Day morning. And also here in Central Arkansas, I think we're going to start off the day with potential downpours still 7, 8, 9 o'clock. So if you're voting for Election Day, be prepared to get wet in the morning. I think it will start to dry out from west to east going through the afternoon hours.
So there's the timeline. Here's what one of our radars look like. We have a couple of different that we'll look at. This is not exact, but it could be a good trend in terms of timing. So this is this evening at 7:30. There is that line, and these cells are the ones that are the supercells, the individual cells that we keep an eye on. Of course, we've got them happening this afternoon, and Nathan will give us an update here in just a moment on that severe thunderstorm warning in Polk County. Let's see if I can walk you through the timing. This is by 11 o'clock. Notice that line doesn't move very much. So this is a recipe for some very heavy rain and potentially some flash flooding. There were flash flood warnings earlier this morning in north central Arkansas. By Tuesday morning, 5 o'clock, again, got to keep an eye out because the atmosphere may be conducive for some rotation. So these individual cells out ahead of the line looks like it breaks apart. Maybe it'll weaken just a little bit, but we're going to keep that chance of rain throughout the day all the way through tomorrow evening. This is by 10 o'clock tomorrow night. The area begins to move out of Arkansas into Mississippi, but the front's going to stall out and may actually back up on us. Another one of our forecast models, this is called the graph. 7 o'clock tonight, line of storms over northwest Arkansas. 10 o'clock keeps it in the same area, very consistent with the HER. This is 5 o'clock in the morning, line moving into central Arkansas. Heavy rain, possibly some wind. And you know, we just cannot rule out the potential for a tornado. This is by tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. So the eastern half of the state will have to deal with rain and possibly some heavy thunderstorms for Election Day. So hopefully most folks are able to get out and get it done today if you still have early voting. But tomorrow it could be very soggy. Central and western Arkansas will begin to dry things out. This is tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. And as we head on down the road, that front's going to stall out, and another area of energy may interact with that front and bring some more showers to parts of the state. We try to make sure that you understand the difference between the watches and warnings that are issued. We've had a tornado warning, which means the tornado was imminent or will occur in a very short amount of time. A watch means that, you know, the conditions are favorable. Ingredients are there for the development of severe weather in your area. And sure enough, today we have had a tornado watch issued and we've had tornado warnings also in effect. One of the things we also have to keep an eye on, I mentioned earlier this morning in northern Arkansas, there was flash flooding. I noted the Buffalo River. But there were areas along the river. Some of the highways had water flowing across. Flood watch remains in effect through tomorrow morning for a good part of northwest and even a few counties in central Arkansas. Our projected rainfall amounts, that went by a little fast. European model has been fairly accurate. We've had reports of 5+ inches of rain. This is going to take us through November 6th, and we could still see yet more rain occur in southwest and even western Arkansas. All in all, saying that several inches of rain still expected over western and northwestern sections of the state. And the graph is kicking back maybe an inch or more. We lost our colors there, that's okay, but that's what's at stake. If not the severe weather possibility, we could also be looking at some very heavy rainfall here in Arkansas here tonight, and as the system finally gets out of the way. Look at the rainfall amount since midnight. over 5.5 inches in Fort Smith. We've picked up over 2 in Batesville, a little over 2 in Clinton. Nearly 4 inches in Mena. Little Rock is approaching an inch, so most of the very heavy rain has occurred in western and northwestern Arkansas. I'm going to hold it right there. Let's go ahead and do another radar update, Nathan. If you have radar ready to go, we'll update you on those severe thunderstorm warnings that we have that were tornado warnings, and now we're back down to severe thunderstorm warnings.
Tom, as we take a look at Max now, we are watching what's happening in the atmosphere real quick, because this is why the concern is there for the continuation of more severe weather going into the afternoon into East Oklahoma, into West Arkansas, because this is a visible satellite, and where you see those gray areas, that's where skies have cleared out. Sunshine equals a better potential of more severe weather, because the sun heats up the ground, and that's basically adding more storm fuel through southeast Oklahoma and also into West Arkansas. So that's why we have this round moving through right now into Yell County and also into Pope County, but there's more storms off to the west. It's all quiet here in Little Rock. You're like, what rain are you talking about? It's dry here in the metro. It's dry in Arkadelphia, Pine Bluff, Searcy, yes. The focus out there this evening is going to be for Montgomery County, Polk County, Scott, Yell, Pope, Johnson counties, possibly into Searcy County, Van Buren County, Newton County, and off to the west. These cells that we're watching right now, making their way from Yell County into Polk County, does not have a tornado warning with it anymore. It's a severe thunderstorm warning. When we take a look at what type of severe thunderstorm warning it is a orange polygon, construction orange polygon, and that basically means that the National Weather Service is still watching rotation within this storm, but it's not enough rotation to go ahead and issue a tornado warning. So if you're watching us in this part of Yell County and Pope County, Dardanelle, Russellville, just be prepared for the potential that they may issue a tornado warning if that rotation continues to get a little bit closer together, and also if we're seeing more spin in that storm. Because like what we've been telling you, there's nothing down to the south to really kill this storm. There's nothing to choke off the inflow, the warm and humid air. This storm still has a little bit of a buffet of the ingredients that can make it go tornado warned as it makes its way through Pope County. And then also, Tom, you got to think about geography plays a role. Sometimes when the inflow makes its way over the hills or mountains of the Ozarks, that can also enhance rotation.
So some orographic effects there. All right, so here we are, 3:18. We do want to let you know this piece of information if you are concerned about the weather. Later on tonight at 8 o'clock, join us on the THV11 Plus app. We're going to be streaming live at 8 o'clock. We might have more warnings to talk about. We're going to go down and break down the severe weather threat once again at 8 o'clock tonight. Be sure you download the app on your Fire TV, Roku TV, or even your Apple TV, and we will tell you what's at stake and what's going to be happening for the rest of the evening this evening. And with that, since the tornado warnings have gone away, we want to take a moment and go back to our programming. We'll keep an eye on that severe thunderstorm warning in Yell and Pope counties. If it does get another tornado warning signature on it, then we will be back just as soon as possible. We're not going far, but we will be right here, keeping a close eye on what's happening in West Central Arkansas. For Nathan Scott, I'm Tom Brannon. We'll be back at 5 o'clock tonight.